That was wonderful, Melanie. Thank you. I also wanted to note that we are having a symposium in his honor on Thursday. Mark Fisher and I are hosting it, and we hope you all come and see some of Peter's scientific legacy there. Now we have another wonderful award to give to a remarkable man. This is the Ramón Margalef Award for Excellence in Education. ASLO gives it to recognize excellence in teaching and mentoring in the fields of limnology and oceanography. This year it will be given by Juan Gonzalez. The nominator is Roy Armstrong, who is shown here with Dr. Gonzalez. The citation will read, "For 50 years of tireless efforts to enrich the educational experiences of students of all ages about the wonders of marine ecosystems." I'm going to step back and we're going to watch a quick 2-minute film on Dr. Gonzalez interacting with students, and then we'll bring him up on stage. I should note that that was not assembled by ASLO. That was assembled by teachers and students that he has helped. So please welcome Dr. Juan Gonzalez.
Good morning. Buenos días. Buongiorno. Good morning. It is a great pleasure to be here. One of my colleagues just brought a branch of mangroves, and he said he couldn't bring any flowers, so he decided to bring a branch of mangroves, which have been my passion for many years. Thank you. I have to thank also Roy Armstrong, who nominated me for the award, And I can tell you something. I have graduated, or I have been the mentor or major professor of 12 PhD students at the University of Puerto Rico. And out of those, Roy Armstrong is the only Puerto Rican student I've had. The others are all from other countries. So, Roy, I thank you very much for your nomination. When Dr. Debbie Bronk called me announcing that I had been selected to receive the Dr. Ramón Margalef Award for excellence in education, I was momentarily speechless, honestly, since I could not believe this was happening to me. I humbly accepted the announcement, as I do accept the important award today, for two reasons. First, it was Dr. Ramón Margalef himself who inspired me, then a young faculty member at the Institute of Marine Biology of the University of Puerto Rico, to pursue advanced studies in marine sciences some 50 years ago. According to him, this was to be the right direction to follow if I were to succeed in a career in marine education. Second, I accept with the knowledge that this award represents the collaborative efforts of the many teachers and students who have over the years given me the satisfaction of working alongside them in their explorations for marine sciences. I first met Dr. Margalef when he came to the Institute of Marine Biology at the invitation of Dr. Rivero, who was the founder of the Institute. And this institute, of course, was the forerunner of the Department of Marine Sciences. During the 10 weeks of his term at the university, Dr. Margalef taught a course on ecology and wrote Comunidades Naturales. This 469-page work was the basis for his monumental book, Ecología. During his stay, he also pioneered research to understand the dynamics of our coastal marine ecosystems and the bioluminescent bay. I was honored to have been able to work with him during each of these academic endeavors. He was an excellent teacher, and it was during this time that I benefited from his charismatic teaching approach. His knowledge of a diverse spectrum of subjects was impressive, but it was his ability to inspire that has stayed with me ever since. During his downtime, he was teaching. To this day, I still wonder if he ever slept, as he was always in the laboratory, either writing or working on his experiments. At lunch, he would informally lecture and use the napkins to draw the graphs to show me the ecological interactions of our local marine ecosystems. I must say that he was a great scientist, but he also had a very good sense of humor. I'll never forget when in the little campus next to our marine station, we had a little zoo, and there was a male zebra there. And the male zebra got in love with one of the brown mares we had there. And they mated. And then I asked Dr. Margalef very seriously, what do you think will come out of this union? And he very seriously said, a horse with pajamas. Perspectives in marine education. It has been stated by philosophers and academicians as well that knowledge is the driving force that moves our society. I would like to extend this statement, if I may, to include not just our society, but all of humanity. I believe the term should be more comprehensive in order to encompass creating knowledge at all levels of society. As we analyze what is meant by the term knowledge, it is evident that we have a serious and moral commitment to continue the flow of that vital energy that drives humanity ahead. If we do otherwise, our actions or lack thereof will have a destructive maximization of entropy. Social decline of this magnitude is something that none of us can afford. Knowledge is the end product of research. And in order for humankind to continue to increase our knowledge base, we need a powerful tool with which to sustain its continued flow. That powerful tool is education. Therefore, the research-based acquisition of knowledge must go hand in hand with education, the art of conveying knowledge to society, to humanity. Educating others is indeed an art. A talented sculptor, painter, or musician uses his gift to express ideas in ways that any individual with whom the art is shared is able to interpret, appreciate, and merge it into his own appreciation of the beauty of the world around him. Similarly, a very special artist is needed to make knowledge available to the high diversified population of this world so that each individual is able to fuse new information into his current understandings. This can be accomplished in different ways. Ideally, the scientist himself transfers the results of his work by way of his publications and teachings in a language that is understandable by lay audiences and scientists alike. One example of such an artist was Carl Sagan, the American astrophysicist of world fame, who used any available means to let people know about what scientists do. He used any media source available, including radio, TV, and newspapers, to reach the multitudes. In addition, he used a popular approach, his novels, to reach everyone at all levels of education. I consider Carl Sagan to be a very important role model. Besides being a renowned scientist, he was able to translate his own scientific achievements, as well as those of others, and make them available to millions and millions. His success as an educator was due in great part to the fact that his educational initiatives were innovative and provided with subtle shades of popular attraction. The fact that he was able to get down to the nitty-gritty, if you will, made his work popular among many lay people who might have never been interested in science. Perhaps you remember his televised series Cosmos, which commanded a considerable and significant audience from large sections of the world's population. It is ironic that, in spite of the fact of his effective approach in education, he was criticized by many of his colleagues who claimed that what he was doing was not compatible with his role as a well-known scientist. I disagree wholeheartedly. Statements and teachings coming from scientists carry profound credibility and admiration, but his additional efforts to reach lay people were exceptional. The creation of knowledge resulting from that serious eagerness to search for the truth and the ability to transmit such knowledge to fellow citizens of the world are commendable activities that had origins in ancient times. To paraphrase Stephen Jay Gould, cavemen came out of their dwellings to look at the heavens and ask themselves why the moon had faces. They did this not only for the practical purposes of what it meant for their gathering of food, but also as an effort to resolve a mystery. This, to me, is an overwhelming indication of the primeval research and scientific questioning that began man's quest for understanding of the recurrent order of nature. Moving along into human intellectual evolution, rudimentary tools and methods of communication were used that attracted the community in a collaborative search for answers. One example of such a tool was the famous chautauquas, predecessors to modern communication and educational technologies. These assemblies that lasted for several days were held for various purposes and focused on important educational goals at the time. An unfortunate result of our technological advances since that time is that now some cultures feel avoiding their hunger for knowledge. It is unfortunate that although we now have a plethora of information available in our fingertips, we suffer consequences resulting from our society's poor use of media. If we redirected even a small portion of the funding used to support gossip, trash programming, and pseudoscientific publications to education, our scientific development would benefit tremendously. Fortunately, most scientists take the dissemination of knowledge gained from the research very seriously. Besides allowing scientists to be the key in the sharing of ideas, we also have educators who are gifted individuals, communicators par excellence, if you will. Educators have in their power the ability to transmit the knowledge gained by scientific research in ways that are free of academic jargon and are easily accessible by less scientifically knowledgeable students. An educator must love what he does and deliver the acquired knowledge accurately and with passion. Borrowing and adapting a quote from Einstein, a teacher should not regard his work as a duty. It is a unique opportunity to learn the liberating influence of beauty for his personal satisfaction and the benefit of the community, which will become his legacy. A teacher with these capabilities and who will not use the harsh methods of artificial authority, fear, force, and humiliation upon his students will undoubtedly quickly advance his learning community. When I look at these qualifications, I always think about that great mentor, Jaime Escalante, whose passion for teaching and introducing novel pedagogical ideas motivated the production of the movie Stand and Deliver, and who made headlines in the world. Now, during my 50 years of teaching at the University of Puerto Rico, I have devoted considerable amount of time to offering lectures, presenting workshops, and visiting schools. I have undertaken these tasks because of my strong belief that everybody on the island should be knowledgeable about and proud of their land and marine ecosystems. And I have benefited from help along the way. I am very grateful to the Department of Marine Sciences of the University of Puerto Rico and also the graduate students, those graduate students who have assisted me in many ways to go to all what I call the classrooms without walls, going to the coral reefs, to the mangroves, to the bioluminescent bays, and teach them about the importance of those systems. Thanks also to Ms. Maria Falcon, a very dynamic local TV producer with whom I have collaborated in the filming of several programs on mangroves, coral reefs, bioluminescent bays, and salt flats. The salt flats, which I call the international airport for migratory birds, where they come to feed and refuel while they continue on their trip down to South America. In a continued effort to train teachers about the importance of coral reefs and mangrove forests, the Agricultural Experimentation Service and I, with the assistance of Ms. Falcon, produced one of the most important educational documentaries to which our teachers and students have had access. Indeed, Long Live the Corals have been a very successful venture. Through the serious commitment of the staff of ABC's Good Morning America, I was able to show the world aspects of the ecological systems that have made possible the displays of bioluminescence in our bays. Similarly, I have collaborated with German television in the production of programs for worldwide distribution. The Puerto Rico Conservation Trust was instrumental in facilitating the production and video that was given to schools together with educational information about the biology and dynamics of bioluminescent bays. Thus, Visiones de Luz, that is, light visions, was made available to schools so that teachers and their students could understand the mechanisms of light emission by many organisms and the reasons for their accumulation in some of our bays. A booklet, An Encounter with the Sea, was published with the kind support of the University of Puerto Rico Sea Grant Program and was made available in schools and community members. Several other brochures have been prepared with the intent of keeping people up to date in all the matters pertaining to education about our ecosystems. I must say that in recent years, NASA has been very supportive of my academic and educational activities through the Sun-Earth Connection and the Sun, Our Closest Star programs. Evelina, thank you very much for all the support that you have given us. And please convey that message to Gilberto Cintrón, who has been so supportive of our programs. My educational activities have not been limited to our local teachers and students. Frequently, we have had teachers from the U.S. mainland, and you saw the video that was showed just before I started here about a group of students that came from Maryland with their teacher. That was really very impressive. Many of those teachers have returned with their students, making of all these activities very important ventures in their academic lives. Furthermore, the educational videos we have produced have been aired in regions of the U.S. mainland known to have large population of Hispanics, thus giving them additional promotional visibility to our efforts. Knowledge is the source of that energy that drives all intellectual and creative endeavors. Very much like the sun, our closest star, is the center of our solar system. We revolve around our collective knowledge, thus getting the various degrees of illumination required for our scientific and other academic activities. However, we must pass along that energy in a sort of intellectual food chain, hoping that the energy transfer is done efficiently. A good teacher is a good key to the success of this energy transfer of knowledge. Teaching is a calling that requires persistence, assertiveness, commitment to serving others. We must be prepared for challenge because education evolves along with human development. Consequently, the educator must continue looking ahead because many challenges are always waiting for him. I must say that the satisfaction derived from providing assistance to teachers and students is rewarding in every sense of the word because you see the product of what you have accomplished. Claude Pepper, a well-known and controversial U.S. senator, once said that life is very much like riding a bicycle. If you stop pedaling, you fall. While this expression does little more than restate the second law of thermodynamics, it does create a nice simile for my feelings about the future of my career in education. I can assure you that to me, education is very much like riding a bicycle. And all my friends and all the audience here, I can assure you that I hope to keep pedaling for years to come. Thank you very much. Thank you. Gracias. Thank you. I must thank ASLO for this great opportunity to be here. And I must thank also them for this well-organized meeting. And I think it's been extraordinary. Thank you, Debbie.